Good afternoon, you guys. I had a candle going. It was way too strong. It's so hot and humid outside that, well, you're probably now getting a lot of candle smoke coming up into the camera. Anyway, I can't open my windows. The humidity outside is outrageous. I don't know why I'm wearing wool socks and house shoes, because like I said, it is very hot outside. I'm wearing a pair of Regia socks, very, very worn from years and years and years ago. I love these. They are so warm. So welcome to a homespun house. I'm Molly and I'm so excited to be back with you guys again today. I have a lot of stuff in the shop to share with you guys. I cannot wait to talk about everything that I have been creating for a homespun house. I have been making so many fun faded kits. So I'm going to just start with showing you those, and then I'm going to show you a little bit about what I've been working on, and then some more things that are in the shop. So we have this first faded kit. It is called the Jewels Collection. There are 6 50-gram mini skeins in this kit. I wouldn't say mini skeins because they're half of a normal size skein of yarn. So this will fit up to a size medium in a pullover. You could also knit a shawl with it. There are so many amazing shawls, such as the Saturate shawl by Orange Knits. I love that shawl. Andrea Mowry from Drea Renee Knits has so many amazing faded patterns too. So this one has 5 skeins. It's called the Pink Fizzle Fade Collection. All of these faded kits, I dyed 10 of them at a time. The numbers are dwindling. I took them with me to Stitches Midwest and I have some of them left. I will never ever be dyeing these again. So this one should fit up to a large. This is the Petal Fade Collection. These are definitely my colors. I dyed all of these pretty much with all of my different palette in mind. So there are 2 more. This next one is super fun. This is called Electric Forest from our Festival Fade Collection. So much fun. I've never ever been to the Electrical Forest Music Festival, but I have heard that of all of the festivals, it is the one that one should go to. So that will fit up to a size large too. And then I dyed this. This one I really dyed with myself in mind. I have been wanting to knit something that is faded. And while this colorway right here, this is the Electric Eel colorway. We have this available as a tonal in the shop. While this colorway definitely does not fade, I love it as a pop of color in this shawl. I think these colorways will look amazing together. So this is the Soft Sock Fingering. This would definitely possibly fit up to a size medium. That's stretching it quite a bit, but small to medium is what this would work for. There are 5 50-gram skeins in here, totaling 1,375 yards of yarn. And I think this would make an amazing shawl. Specifically the Saturate shawl that I was talking about in the beginning of this episode. So I hope that you guys love all of those. Those are listed in the shop at very, very limited quantities right now. I have been, goodness, I don't know what all we've chatted about since we last chatted, just simply because it's been so long. The last 2 times that we spoke, I think Katie from Lock and Lou was here with me. I currently have a giveaway going on via Instagram with her. It is featuring these 3 yarns. Collins Barley is the tonal there, and then this 20-gram mini skein of Juniper, all on our Soft Sock base. And that comes with a Tuft Woolens chapstick in the Hawaiian Pineapple. I have this sent myself, and I love it. It's so perfect for summer. And then it comes with this beautiful sunflower charm from Katie of Lock and Lou. I just was at her house this past week and I helped her de-weed all of her garden beds, and she had some beautiful sunflowers popping up in her garden. I don't even think that she planted the sunflower seeds. I think that they were just, well, self-planted them. I think that she said that they were planted by the birds. So I love that so much. That makes them so much more special. So the one thing that I did want to share is that I finished my No Frills Pullover. And this is a kit that we currently have in the shop. And this is our Nurture colorway. It has not been blocked yet. So this is a very, very oversized for myself No Frills Pullover. And this is in the Nurture colorway and then fresh sheets. And I altered the wristband on here. I still have to weave in my ends. And then, like I said, block it. It fits kind of stiff right now. If I were to knit this again, I would not knit this large of a size. It's really, really big. I might come to love the fit of it in the winter, and it's also possible that once I block it, I might like it even more, but I don't like long pullovers at all. If they go anywhere past my hip bone, which is already too long for me, I like it to fall just below my waist. It is not something I'm going to wear at all. So this is on the long side, and I'm sure that once I block it, it will probably be very long as well. And I can't stretch it out because it's already a very, very wide piece, but I love the colors on this. I think it would look so beautiful on somebody who wears maybe a size or two larger than I wear. So it might just be something that I take to festivals where I'm vending and have it be a piece that people can try on or look at, because it is very beautiful, very flattering, and it's my favorite color. So like I said, kits for these are currently in the shop. This is the second No Frills Pullover that I've knit, and I really, really enjoyed knitting it. I don't think I will be knitting another one because there are so many other knitted patterns for pullovers that are available. Very simple ones, super intricate ones. Andrea Mowry just came out with a pullover pattern called the Stone Cutter, I think is what it's called. And I have just asked on my Instagram stories if somebody would be interested in test knitting it for me. I want the tester to let me know what colorways they would be interested in using, and then I will pick somebody who chooses colorways that I love too, because I'll be showing it at my shows. So let me know if you're interested in test knitting that. Pullover is what I would want you to knit, not the cardigan. And I can't wait to have you start on that. So the next thing that I have been working on is a pair of socks. I've been knitting these out of DK weight yarn, and I already have one finished. So this is our Conspiracy Theory colorway. This is one that was fun to knit because I originally cast it on. I'm using size 2.5 millimeter needles with DK weight yarn, and I'm using a 54 stitch count. I originally cast it on with 48 stitches, and it was just this really beautiful non-pooling speckle, just watercolor effect, I guess. And I realized it was way too small. They would have fit 8OD, and I'm knitting these for my mom. She is no longer working for a homespun house currently. My sister has taken her place, and my mom is a dental hygienist, so she's taken more days at the office doing that for now. She had a very long drive to our home every day, and the office that she works at, I think, is like 7 minutes from her home, so her commute isn't so long. Yeah, I miss seeing her 3 times a week. That was always really nice, but it's really nice having my sister work for a homespun house. She is also living with us, so I imagine that you will be seeing her on the podcast in the upcoming future. Maybe in the fall time, she'll be interested in knitting. She's definitely mentioned that she would like to knit at some point. And she wears hats all the time. So I think a chunky hat would be so much fun for her to work on. So anyway, my mom chose this colorway Conspiracy Theory, and I started then to knit it with 54 stitches, which seems like a much better fit for her leg. And it started to self-stripe, which is very strange in this like just jewel toned blues and purples, and then these jewel toned reds, and then with all of the different colors of the rainbow speckled in throughout, also with the watercolor effect. But yeah, that was just so strange because I don't dye this in any sort of micro striping way. There's no part of the technique of the way that I dye this that should micro stripe. Obviously it does, so that contradicts everything that I'm saying, but it still baffles my mind as to how this is micro striping. So this is a first sock. My mom wears a size 9 or a size 40 or 41. I think she wears a size 40 US or European. And now I have cast on the second sock. I'm all the way to the heel, which is really nice. Every time I get to about the heel of a second sock, I always dream about the next pair of socks that I'll be knitting. I haven't decided what yarn I'm going to use for that, but the dreams are starting to happen of casting on a new pair of socks. I'm very excited. So I'm at the heel of this one, and then I have the toe. I hope I have enough yarn for this. Knitting size 9 sock on DK weight yarn is hitting it pretty close of not having enough yarn for the foot. So I hope that I have enough. And the thing that is making me extra nervous and would be such a bummer to run out of yarn is the fact that I have picked up some Advent socks. Yes, you heard it. It is August. I am knitting on Advent socks for my little girls. We have a colorway in the shop that I bring back. I think this will be the 4th year that I have Gingerbread House in the shop. I just love this colorway, so I'll bring it back probably in September, early October. And I chose Gold Stellina for these. So these are for my eldest daughter, who will be 8 years old in November. And I use the Blueberry Waffle Sock pattern, which I think is for DK, but it's super easy to alter into fingering weight. So the first pair is finished. And the second pair of socks that I am working on is for my 4-year-old daughter, who will still be 4 during Advent time. And I have finished her first sock. So my eldest daughter wears a size 2, and my youngest daughter wears a size 11 in American sizing. So sadly, I have run out of yarn. I used a 100-gram skein of yarn for both of these socks. I thought that I could do them both together, but I knit my eldest daughter's socks. I knit the leg pretty long on them. I think I could have had the cuff just as long, or the leg, I could have done without this long of a cuff. So I will definitely keep that in mind for next time, so that I have enough yarn to knit 1 pair of socks for each child with a 100-gram skein, because now I can see that it can be done and how it can be done. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't have any more of Gingerbread House dyed up on Gold Stellina. I do have some on Plum Merino and Soft Sock, but I don't want to dig into another full skein of yarn. I don't want to do it. I know that I won't use this colorway again. And yeah, it would just feel very wasteful. So I'm thinking that I might grab either barley, poly, probably barley or poly, and knit the rest of the toe with that colorway, which would be a bummer because they really don't match. But I honestly don't think Ruby, my youngest daughter, would care at all. I honestly think that Elodie, my eldest daughter, might want a sock that has a red or golden toned toe instead. So I'm thinking I probably have I definitely have poly. I definitely have some of a skein left from a previous project that I knit. And that is probably what I will do, because I want to finish these. Every week in every Sunday of Advent, I make a gift that I give to each of the girls, and this will be the second one that I already have finished for them. So I'm very, very excited about that. I need to work on some clothing for their dolls that I made for them, and then I'll probably sew them each something sweet, something, maybe some Christmas themed pajamas, like a onesie, or I don't know, but whatever I sew them, I need to make matching for their dolls as well. So yeah, that was quite disappointing to run out of yarn. But it's been so much fun knitting for Christmas or Advent, and thinking about Vlogmas. When I was at Stitches Midwest in Schaumburg, Illinois, I had people asking me if we would be doing Vlogmas this year, which we definitely will. It's so much fun to do. I love that you guys love and are so respectful of my family and so kind. And I have been having the time of my life dyeing up Advents whenever the urge strikes, and just pop on some Christmas music and dye up those colorways. So I do have more Advents in the shop, and they will be available for a little while longer. For those of you who are wanting to hop on the Advents from a Homespun house, there will be 24 20-gram minis, and then one 100-gram skein of yarn. You can choose it with or without the 100-gram skein of yarn. But all of them are individually labeled. They have colorway names, and they are packaged in wonderful packaging, no waste. And I just think you guys will love them so much. Every year that I make my Advents, I am so much happier with them than the previous year. So it's fun to learn and put together new Advent colors. And these ones will not be faded like the ones that I did last year. I really tried to put them in a way that the colors really blended together nicely. And this time I wanted all of the colorways to be very different. At the end, you definitely could, choose how you want to fade them, and if you want to do them in a color coordinating sort of way. But this time, I really want you to get a very different skein of yarn each day, just because I feel like personally that is what I would want this year. So many people are knitting so many fades, and we all have a lot of faded yarn, but I think it's fun to open up something very different. So both sides are great. The next thing that I'm working on is a really, really fun shawl. So I wanted something very bright, very cheery to work on this summer, and I haven't knit with a lot of neon yarns in general. So I chose Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, which is, let me grab it for you guys, this super fun pop of color. And then I chose Unicorn Dust, which is this gorgeous, gorgeous colorway. You could use this, intermingle this with so many different colors and many different shawls. So this is Unicorn Dust, and this is Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. I am knitting the Marley shawl by Drea Renee Knits, or Andrea Mowry, and I've knit this pattern before. It is one of my most worn shawls. I wear it all the time. It is the perfect size because it's knit in complete brioche. It is very, very squishy. It does have a garter stitch border at the end, which is also really fun. It adds a nice texture. It adds something to switch it up, but brioche is very mindless. It's something that I don't have to think about at all when I'm knitting it. It's really just like knitting a pair of socks for me, where I can just knit, 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 knit. Although I will say it is funny when I'm knitting brioche and then pick up a project that's, say, stockinette. I have, from time to time, started to knit brioche into my socks and then have had to rip it out or something like that, which isn't the most fun, but yeah, brioche is so great. It's so pretty, and I'm using my singles base for this. I also knit my Party on My Needles shawl on my singles base, which is a pattern by Joji Locatelli, and I love the way singles knit up for shawls. I have never knit a pullover with singles. I know a lot of people love their pullovers knit out of singles, but I think it is so perfect for a shawl. And my singles have a really, really, really fine micron count. And so they're extremely soft, 100% merino, pretty much as soft as cashmere. So I love this base and I am enjoying so much knitting this shawl. I need to pick it up again. I've really been into knitting both of those pair of socks that I've been working on. So the final thing that I kind of picked up and haven't spent too much time knitting on is, let me grab it, is a pattern by Tristan Molina of Dragon Horde Yarns. I met Tristan and Christy at Stitches Midwest, and they are so lovely. I really enjoyed the time that we spent together, and I can't wait to spend more time with them. So I am knitting her Halfmoon Tea. She was, she just designs such stunning patterns, and her size range is so vast. She just comes out with really, really beautiful ideas for her patterns. So anyway, I'm knitting her Halfmoon Tea. I really wanted to have this as a sample at Stitches Midwest, but with the summer as busy as it had been, just getting stuff knocked out for Stitches Midwest, having my sister move in with me, having the children home from school, wanting to spend quality family time together, I pretty much have gotten no knitting time in this summer, which has been a bit of a bummer. And I've really now tried to enforce that knitting time of spending an hour a day. It's my goal now, starting from today on, because I have not been doing that at all. I've probably spent an average of an hour a week knitting this entire summer. So yeah, I wanted to have this finished and be able to show it to you guys at Stitches Midwest, but all I have to show is this little neck with this gorgeous Harry Potter donut from Sucre Sucre Miniatures. This was our Christmas at Hogwarts charm that we did 2018. And I just dyed up today Return to Hogwarts yarn along with the Sucre Sucre Miniatures charm. I have my sister's packaging that right now. And I think you guys are going to die when you see this yarn and charm. They are so perfect. I honestly couldn't be happier with either one. So right now I have Halloween at Hogwarts in the shop. The charm that Chelsea is making is so fantastic. It is, if you guys love your Return to Hogwarts charm, let me just tell you, you are going to die when you see your Halloween at Hogwarts charms. So those are in the shop. Quantities are limited on the charms. And yeah, I hope that you guys love them and have so much fun when you get them and knit with them. I can't wait to hear what you guys decided to make with them. Socks, shawls, those are kind of the two things that I really see. There's a DK weight and then a fingering weight option. So you could do a hat even, just lots of different possibilities. So I'm knitting the Halfmoon Tea and I am using our Homestead colorway. So beautiful. Hopscotch and Blackberry Jam. So Homestead will be the main colorway of this pullover, and then with the color work in accents of Hopscotch and Blackberry Jam. And I'm knitting this out of the Homespun House 100% non-superwash merino yarn. And I haven't knit with this base for a very long time. It's so squishy and spongy. And I am bringing all of my colorways into the shop on this base. So I hope that you guys love that. And kits for this in this exact kit are currently in the shop. So pop on that, or hop on that rather. I wanted to share with you guys lastly some of the fun colorways that I have in the shop for the autumn. I have these right now in a shoulder market basket. I have these in the shop along with lots of different sizes of baskets. This is our everyday basket. And then we have our cozy memories basket. So these are all pretty good sized. I think in the shop right now, I currently have Cozy Memories baskets and shoulder market baskets, but next week, near the end of the week, I will be having all of the sizes of baskets along with the market totes that I offered twice in the shop, and those sold out pretty quickly. I don't have any of those to share with you guys, but I'm so happy that you love them so much. Oh, and I have a new size of basket, which I hope will be in my hands next week, and I can share it with you guys next week. So the fun colorways that I have to share with you guys. I love Mohair. I know you guys know that, but I wanted to share with you some of the really beautiful Mohairs that I think that could be added to so many various projects. There's a colorway that I have been dyeing up for the shop for quite a long time, and I've just recently been falling more and more in love with it, and that is Pickle Juice. So this is just a beautiful sunflower golden yellow with pops of oranges and greens. And while these colors don't always tickle my fancy, I love this combination together. And you could pair it with so many different things. This is Lincoln. These two together are probably my favorite. And then you could always add like a tonal like ash over it. I know that this looks very dark, but the strand of mohair is lace weight, so it's very fine, and especially a gray will just add a very, very nice and kind halo to your project. So this is Pickle Juice and Lincoln. Love these. You could add Pickle Juice with so many different things. You could have it with steel. You could have it with juniper. I love it with Lincoln though. So then some of the other colorways that I want to show you guys are two that will be in the shop this week. And these are Halloween themed colorways. We have here All Hallows Eve. And then we have Goblin Dance. And we have some other Halloween colorways, but these are the only two that I have to share with you right now. So these will be on a dye to order basis in all of our different bases. And I think that is how I'm going to list these colorways. So these will be up in the shop next Monday. The other colorways that I wanted to share with you are a lot of tonals, and they're colorways that I think you can mix together with pretty much any color that I have in the shop. So here I have Don't Kill My Vibe, and you can mix this with so many different things. You can mix it with Comfort. You could also mix it with Lincoln. I love this one again with Steel. It looks beautiful with Barley, Blackberry Jam. And then here is a skein of Homestead. This is the colorway that I'm using for my pullover. It looks, and these are the three colors together that I'm using for the pullover. But you could take it so many different ways. You could do Lincoln, Steel, Homestead. And then I just wanted to share with you some of the tonals that I've brought upstairs. I think I just brought 4 of them. So from this one, that's Ash, to Comfort, there's Ash, Blackberry Jam, Juniper, and Comfort here. These are so pretty. I think you could knit any cardigan with them paired with themselves. I also think Blackberry Jam would look great with Don't Kill My Vibe. This colorway is just so deep and filled with so many different speckles. It's one of my favorite lately, and I would love to knit it with something. So the 2 final colorways that I wanted to share with you are not heavily saturated. They are very, very creamy, and they have really fun, light speckles to them. So this first one is Collins. It's one of my oldest colorways. It is one that is my most versatile colorways because you can add it with any color. You can really add it with anything. And I think that it makes just the most beautiful texture to the shawl. It just adds, it really, really adds something to tonals. So I love the way that Collins can be a special piece with tonals for a shawl or for a pullover or something like that. So then here I have Ramble, and this is the same sort of thing. You can add this with different colorways, and it really just adds a really nice color to anything that you're knitting. That would be a beautiful Christmas shawl, but obviously it doesn't have to be a Christmas shawl. But yeah, so I've had so much fun dyeing, putting things together this past week, and it's nice to be back. It's nice to be back home. Being away at Stitches Midwest for 4 days was so much fun. Katie from Lock and Lou and I had such a great time together. We were so busy every second. We woke up, started talking, stayed awake late into the night, talked. I don't think I've ever talked so much for 4 days, but it was great. Amber from Maker's Haven and I are currently having a make-along. So Amber makes wonderful stories. This is her second one that she's come out with. It's called Like a Dream. And this is a novella. It doesn't have many pages. I think it has a total of, let's see, 108 pages. I've already read it, and it is a very, very sweet love story. So I recommend getting this for your teenage daughter who loves to knit. I don't think that she's offering the book boxes currently. It's possible that she might be. You can go ahead and check them out in her shop. But the book in general, if you have a teenage daughter who likes to read, I think this is great for them. I'm not a teenager. I enjoyed it. And then it comes with this, which is really, really lovely. It tells you which gifts to open on which certain days. And then inside it came with all of these little bags. I think most people received little boxes. So I have bags that came with mine. I'm not going to open them. I already have, but I'm not going to open them in front of you because I don't want you to see what was inside of each of these. And then the first thing that I opened that I saw when I opened my box was all of this yarn. So I received 3 50-gram skeins of yarn on silver stellina, which is so fantastic. It fits the book so well. The colors fit the story so well. They're so light and delicate and romantic. And I am pretty sure, let me look, my computer over here. I am going to knit the Scrappy Bias shawl by Emily Clausen, who has, I think her shop is Candy Shop Yarns. She dyes yarn. I think she's doing the graphic design on all of her labels, but all of her ideas, all of her labeling, she just does such a great job with her themed yarn. I can't recommend checking out her shop. I can't recommend checking out Meanwhile at the Castle podcast anymore. It is fantastic. She and her sister are such lovely ladies, and I really, really enjoy them. So I'm happy to cast this shawl on from yarn from my beautiful friend Amber of Maker's Haven, and then my other beautiful friend who I don't know that well, but I watch her podcast and she just seems so kind, Emily Clausen, shawl designed by her. So I'm thinking I might go ahead and add some minis from Maker's Haven from my advent calendar that I received last year in here. I think I might do some different shades of seafoam blue. I thought that I might add that in partially into the shawl because there's a little bit of grief that hits the book about 1/8 of the way in. And so I'm thinking 1/8 of the way into my shawl, I might start adding some blues in there. So we'll see. I should cake this up today and look through my minis and cast this baby on. So this will use a size 4 needle. and US 4 6mm. And I'm excited to get that cast on. I haven't knit with Stellini yarn in a little while, so that will be really a lot of fun. I am about to head into the kitchen. I can hear my sister in the shower right now. She must be finishing up work. And we are going to make dinner for my family, and our neighbors are coming over this evening. We are having breakfast burritos. I feel like my mouth, I need to swallow all of my saliva because thinking about it made me salivate. Breakfast burritos are, they're one of my absolute favorite foods. My dad made them for special occasions when I was little, and it's something that I started to make probably once every 10 days once we had children, because I love them so much. They're delicious, they're very healthy, and they take a very long time to make. We're starting making them at 3:30 and we'll probably eat them around 6. So it'll be really fun to make them with my sister. She's never ever made them before, and it will be fun to enjoy them as a family and with our neighbors. They've, I think I made them for them once, and their children ate it, which was surprising because their children don't eat everything. Children in general don't eat everything. Our children love them. But yeah, so that's really nice. I'm looking forward to that. And Robert is currently out with friends of our children's. They are, they played together at their home, and now they are together as a family. Robert and the other children's mom are together at a pool swimming, and then they're gonna get some groceries, which I honestly, who else enjoys grocery shopping? Because I do. Probably because I'm not the one who has to do it all the time. Robert generally always goes and gets our groceries. So if I tag along, it's because I have time and want to go and look at groceries, which usually means I'm extra hungry and then probably buy things we don't need, possibly. There's a salivating again. It's 3:30, I haven't had lunch yet. I probably should drink this big glass of water and have a banana, have something to eat before we have dinner. So yeah, Katie will be on the next podcast with me from Lock and Lou, which I'm very excited about. I've had you guys mentioning that you really, really enjoyed seeing her last time. So that will be a lot of fun to have her on here. And hopefully we see you guys next week. Wouldn't that be shocking? Would you guys think that you were dreaming? Maybe. See you guys soon.